Have you ever thought about this? Just got a couple more questions before we end this interview. Have you ever thought about the fact that with all that you know, all the knowledge that you have, all that you've espoused, what level of pressure that puts on you? One would think the pressure is, oh, keep knowing what you're talking about. I'm thinking about something else. We better not see you depressed.
No.
We better not see you limping around. We better not see you looking angry. We better not see an abundance of things that you just spoke about, that if your body has these kind of things, inside of it, you're going to be in optimum health. And as a result, you're not going to be subjected to some of the things that normal folks are subjected to. Have you ever thought about that at all and what kind of pressure it puts on you? It's almost like somebody being in the public eye and they got to watch every little thing that they do, an actor, an actress, an athlete, et cetera, et cetera. Some folks might look at you and say, that's the stratosphere you're approaching. To that you say what?
Well, I have an obligation to be authentic about what I say. So the lifestyle that I lead behind the scenes is the same lifestyle that I put on Instagram. I did 3 hours of live Zooms today. I took the laptop and walked around the house. I show all of I show what I use in my daily life on the Ultimate Human podcast. You will never see an ad read. You will never see me become a prostitute for products or services. And believe me, it comes my way. I have a hard and fast rule that I do not promote anything that I do not use in my daily life, every day in my daily life, or that I do not have firsthand knowledge of. And you will never see me with this CBD gummy and this multivitamin and this energy drink, and unless I am using that in my daily life or I have firsthand knowledge of it. You saw that graveyard of products in the back of my condo back there. I am incessant about testing things because I want people to understand that, I want to take the products that do not have a voice, that are doing the right thing for humanity, and I want to give them a voice. My partner said to me, Grant Cardone said to me one time, he said, Gary, what's more important, the best product or the best known product? And I'll never forget, because I said, well, probably for revenue, it's probably the best known product, which is why I am going to give a voice to the best products. I want to push them up through the noise, like the real grass-fed farms, the real, the cereals that are not bad for kids, the snacks that actually have nutrients in them and are not full of like pesticides and herbicides and food colorings and high sodiums, to give a voice to those things so it makes the choices for people easier about how to navigate this. But it is a crazy amount of pressure, Stephen, especially the amount of vitriol that I get from really just trying to do the right thing.
Top misconceptions about you?
Top misconceptions about me. Wow, that's a great question. I would say the top misconceptions about me are that I'm driven by money, and that's success was a byproduct of being in service to humanity. It wasn't the quest. It's so funny because initially all I really wanted to do was be wealthy, and I couldn't create any wealth. And then I decided that I wanted to focus on people's well-being, and then I became wealthy. And now everybody accuses you because of your level of success of having some kind of ulterior motive. It's the same thing I see them do to clients of mine that have dramatic changes in their life, and they always want to tear it down and say they must have cheated. But a lot of times people like yourself and Dana and others are just putting in the work. They really did just put in the work.
Last question. When you see me, when you see Dana.
We're about to be neighbors, buddy.
When you see, hopefully, when we see Dana, when you see Steve Harvey, when you see so many of us, you talk about us and our willingness to have put in the work. In the end, when you look at America out there and you're talking to them and trying to encourage them to put in the work. So ultimately, there's a level of health that they can achieve that will make them feel wealthy in and of themselves. What's the best advice you can give to them to get them started, to jumpstart their lives for the better?
Well, the word wealth is actually derived from the word well-being, to be well in being. So to be wealthy used to mean to be healthy. And so that's the root of that word. I'll tell you just a quick story. I was on an episode of Access Hollywood a few weeks ago, And it was at Universal Studios.
Okay.
And the Access Hollywood stage is in the center of the park, and they actually picked me up at the back, and I was getting walked through the park by security. And I was just looking around. You know, you see this heavyset grandma. She's in a motorized wheelchair. She's got a 2-liter of soda in her thing. Then you see heavyset mother in the fanny pack, and then you see a really, really heavyset, even obese kid that's just entering puberty. And I made a comment to the security guard. His answer just really struck me. It blew me away. And I was just trying to be funny. I said, "What's with all the fanny packs? It's like a fanny pack pandemic up here."
Right.
And he said, "Oh, you know, they can't put their hands in their pockets." And I was like, "Wow, these guys are all wearing fanny packs because they can't put their hand in their pockets." And I look over, and there's a kid, must have been 13 years old, and he's sitting on one of the benches, and he has a 64-ounce Big Gulp in his hand, and he's got a paper with a funnel cake on it, a paper plate with a funnel cake on it. Well, the funnel cake is that's deep fried white flour in seed oil with 10x sugar on it and 64-ounce Big Gulp. I start running the math in my head. I'm like, that's 39 teaspoons of sugar in his right hand. It's another 50 grams of sugar in his left hand that's soaked in seed oils with 10x sugar on it. And I realized, like, to me, it actually made me a little angry. I wanted to go to the mother and be like, this is child abuse, but I realized that they just don't know. And so that's why my message is for the masses, because I truly think that people really don't know. And there are some simple choices that they could make. So here's what I would tell everybody listening to this podcast. You want to feel that the best that you've felt in the last 5 years to decade of your life for no money. Number one, wake up tomorrow morning. Try to wake up with the sun if you can. Expose your skin to sunlight. Go outside and get first light. Just get the benefit of this beautiful blue light with no UVA, UVB light. Damaging rays in the morning. Expose your skin to that sunlight. Do 3 rounds of 5 deep breaths with a breath hold in between. Come back in and take a cold shower. Just tell me how good that one choice makes you feel. And let that be the start of your journey where you go out and get information on your body and you start to make a change based on that data.
I'm a skeptical individual. I've gone to doctors.
You were so skeptical.
I've gone to doctors all my life. I still go to doctors. Mm-hmm. You've never discouraged me from going to a doctor.
Never will.
I still train all the time. You've encouraged me to train as often as I possibly could and to seek encouragement. I'm on my supplement protocol. I've changed my diet. But so much of what has happened to me is because of how you guided me. And I just want to let you know, for my audience, I appreciate it. There's so many components that come with it, and I get that, but it has to start somewhere. And it has to start with you knowing exactly what's wrong and attacking the immediate problem so you can begin to cure your body. I have felt better than I have felt in 30 years, and I'm just getting started. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you've done.
Man. Thank you for that.
I definitely appreciate it. The one and only Gary Brecker right here with Stephen A. Smith. That's my journey. You see the man that's helped me get here. There's no question about that. I know how I feel about you. The proof is in the pudding. Yes. Damn it, I look in the mirror now compared to how I didn't want to look in the mirror a year ago. Mm-hmm. That's how it goes. This is the Stephen A. Smith Show. That's the one and only Gary Brecker. Thank him so much again for your time, your energy, your knowledge, and everything like that. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I hope you make sure to prioritize your health. There is no wealth without health. You heard him say it. You've heard me say it a million times. I'm going to tell it to you again. This is why I got so much energy. This is why I have so many jobs. This is why I can continue to flow the way that I flow, because I'm actually trying to take care of myself. I hope that was inspirational. It should be. We'll talk about this in the days, the weeks, and the months to come. For Gary Brecker, this is Stephen A. Smith signing off. Peace and love, everybody. Until next time.
Thank you, Billy.